Hi, I'm Jeff Gonzalez, president of Trident Concepts. And today I'm here with Brownells Daily Defense to talk to you about the TACOST training program. So what is TACOST? TACOST is an acronym that stands for Tasks, Conditions, and Standards. So a little bit of history. For my own professional development, I would create my own training plan, and I would work through this training plan to try to identify areas that needed improvement and areas that I wanted to keep doing well. And whenever I'd go to the range, I'd have this elaborate plan to try to do that. And as students would graduate from our classes, they would come up to me or after the class ask, hey, what drills can I use to practice to keep my skills up? And it was really hard to try to give them a good answer. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up starting to formulate this plan that if I could just take all of my training, all my pro dev, and somehow organize it to be able to just hand it to people, that would make my job a lot easier. And so in the process of coming up with that idea, it made sense for me to take a deck of cards and actually put the training program inside of the deck of cards. So the purpose behind the TACOST program is to help people not just practice, but actually work at getting better. So there is a method to the madness. Anything that is of value is measurable. And so what we want to do is we want to be able to measure our performance and determine whether or not we're making improvements or we're not. So the cards are pretty simple. And what we did was we took the 4 suits, and each of the suits has a different discipline. So one discipline would be working on developing speed. Another would be working on developing accuracy. Then there's a dry fire suit. Then there's the baselines, which helps us to create our own times. And so what I really like is the modularity of the actual training program. So it's really nice because if I am planning to go to the range, I want to try to figure out what do I want to do on this range trip? What's my purpose? What do I want to try to work on? And it may not be that obvious. It may take me some time to really figure that out. But once I do figure that out, I need to then try to figure out what exactly am I going to do. So having a plan with the exact details of that plan. And so what I can do is I can say, well, I'm going to work on my speed, or I'm going to work on accuracy, or maybe I just decide that I've got 100 rounds, and what I'll do to figure this out is I'll take the cards that cumulative have a round count for each one and total up 100 rounds, and that'll be my training program that I go to the range. I could also do something where I just randomly shuffle the deck, pull out a couple of cards, shoot, and then I'm pretty happy at that point. So it's nice because I can take, say, the ace of spades, or in this case, the 4 of spades. I can take the 4 of spades, and I can shoot that month 1, collect and document my scores, and then maybe practice a little bit, come back 3 months later, shoot the 4 of spades again, and compare. All right, is my practice helping me to improve? Maybe, maybe not. Then one of the things that I have determined on my own as I've been using the training program is that it gives me a kind of like a guide on where I want to go. So when I can say to myself, you know what, I want to really improve on this particular card or this particular objective, it's nice because I just kind of work at improving the skills that card is testing. So I'll go out on my own and practice whatever they are, and then I'll retest at some point down the road. You don't have to use them in that fashion. You can just use them strictly as a training aid. You don't have to use them to help test or gauge performance. But that's the beauty behind it, is the versatility. So it's also scalable. So if you are having a hard time meeting the standard, you can either decrease the range, you can decrease the target size, you can shoot it with or without the par time, you can, instead of shooting from the holster, shoot from the ready. So the options are pretty much limitless there. What I really like is the fact that because it just comes in a deck, it's really easy to just throw in my range bag and always have. So even if I decide not to create a training plan and I show up at the range and I've got 50 rounds, I just pull out the deck, find a total of 50 rounds from the training cards, and off I go. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them down below. If you invest in this, I think you'll find it a huge value added to your training program and your development as a shooter. So I'm Jeff Gonzalez. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Until then, take care and stay safe.